Welcome to the Villages Homestyle, and we are going to talk about all things related to homes in the Villages so you can go out and enjoy that village lifestyle. Today is very exciting because we are going to jump in and talk about how to save thousands of dollars when purchasing your home here. Now, these tips and tricks can be used whether you're on a fixed income, in the early stages, planning for retirement, or just trying to get your finances under control. All right, but before we talk about ways to save money, we have to talk about locations within the villages and some of the key areas. So on the northern end is where the villages began, and those are the houses that are close to the Spanish Springs Town Square, 441 Lady Lake area. And also, just to make some things easier for comparison purposes, we will only be talking about site-built homes as compared to original manufactured homes when the villages was created. So as the houses get newer, we go towards Lake Sumter Landing, then Brownwood Paddock Square off of 44 and Wildwood. And then next would be Sawgrass Grove, all the way down to the newest section, which is Eastport, and that right now is the furthest south down Marsh Bend Trail. Alrighty, so let's get into it. The first way that we can save money in the villages when buying a home is to buy a home in the older section up by Spanish Springs Town Square and get one without a bond, or negotiate it out when making the offer to purchase the home. So we may already be a little bit confused and wondering, what the heck is a bond? Essentially, it's broken down into two parts: the actual bond itself, which pays for the infrastructure around the home, such as costs to develop the land, roadways, multimodal paths, and then there is the maintenance portion, which pays for the ongoing upkeep, such as lawn care on the common areas, tree trimming, and everything along those lines, like signs and everything. So the bond itself will drop off after it matures, which typically takes about 20 to 30 years. However, the maintenance portion stays on. So I do have an example for us here, so we can see the cost breakdown and just put some numbers on the screen. So I will have them over here so you can see. And please forgive me because I am going to be reading off of this little piece of paper so I can get some of these numbers correct. All right, so if we are looking at a $31,000 bond, which is a pretty safe average for the newer homes, it'll be broken down into an annual maintenance fee, or an annual maintenance portion of $1,428, and then the annual bond portion of $2,502. So the total will be $3,930 for the year, which comes out to be the bond portion of $208 per month and $119 for maintenance. So if you can get a home where the bond is paid, you can save about $2,500 annually and just have the maintenance portion. Maintenance fees also get lower when the bond balance is paid off, and a safe average is usually around $500 annually. Now, of course, there are outliers when the maintenance fees go up or down, so it's important to ask our tax experts what the maintenance fee will be when the bond balance is zero. Alrighty, so another way to save thousands of dollars when purchasing a home in the villages is to register for property tax exemptions. Now, I know this doesn't necessarily lower the cost to purchase the home, but it does reduce your taxable value, which lowers your tax bill year over year. So some examples of that are homestead, where you have to live in the home for at least 6 months and 1 day out of the 12 months of the year. Senior, where one person in the home is over 65. Widow or widower, and disability, to name a few. There are definitely other exemptions available, and I would recommend you to talk to the tax assessor's office for the county that you move to. You'll see what exemptions are available when they can look at your exact property and your circumstances. So the Villages is made up of 3 counties: Lake, Sumter, and Marion. And I do want to point out that Sumter County, which is the largest county in the Villages, does have the lowest property tax rate out of the 3, and it's also the 4th lowest county in Florida for an average property tax mileage rate. So that's pretty cool. All right, so another way to save some money would be to buy a turnkey or furnished home. Now, a turnkey home is where the current owner leaves all of the furniture, towels, silverware, and basically everything to move right on into the house or rent it out immediately. Furnished homes differ slightly because they typically only include the furniture. And when it's just furnished, you'll still have to provide the silverware, towels, decorations, everything like that. But if you don't like the furniture that's being offered in a turnkey home, we can always ask the seller to remove it and adjust our offer accordingly to reflect that of an unfurnished home. All right, so then the last big item I want to talk about to save thousands when buying a home in the Villages is to shop around for homeowners insurance. We don't just want to call State Farm, for example, because you've used them in your home for the past 20, 30 years, because sometimes there are better options that primarily serve Florida, and even more specifically, Central Florida where we are. A general rule of thumb is to call local agencies, and they can help you get a little bit more reasonable rates. All right, so some key takeaways. We are going to shop around. We're going to talk to neighbors and different companies to get quotes on services and see if there are any price matching options. We know that not all older homes need a lot of renovations, and most already have the bond paid off and have systems upgraded, such as a newer HVAC, furnace, roof, and other upgrades. Some even come fully furnished. And then of course, we do want to register for any applicable tax exemptions to reduce that taxable assessed value of your home. Thank you guys so much for sticking in there with me. I hope you learned something about the ways to save thousands of dollars when moving into the Villages so you can do more of the things that you enjoy. All right, be kind to strangers and make today a great day, and I'm sure we will see each other again soon.